Good morning, Art of the Hook and Needle. Just wanted to say happy fall. Where did this year go? I'm not quite sure. But I wanted to come on. It's been a while, and I've been producing some needlework, and I'm now back onto crochet. I'm bisexual. I do both crochet and knit. I'm honing in on my knit skills, but not as I've done more crochet than knit, but I'm back on crochet. And I wanted to share with you some squishy mail that I received. And I'm currently working this amazing fiber. Not just saying that, but I like to do different projects and use different yarns. I don't just go with what, the same yarn every single time. I enjoy working with different types of yarn. And this current project is one of those projects in which I was like, well, what would I do with this and what would I make with this? And my favorite place to go for those types of projects are lionbrand.com. I am an affiliate with Lion Brand, but all of my kits and everything I talk about, I pay for my purchases. This is not given to me from Lion Brand. These are my choices of what I want to work with and what I want to share with you. So on lionbrand.com, there are different, they've made the website so simple in regards to crochet and knit kits. And I love picking those from those crochet and knit kits because they're highlighted designers. The patterns are all tested and true and very easy to read. For somebody who's beginning or intermediate or even going on and getting free patterns is amazing. And yes, we can get those free patterns, but half the time, people use different languages and different types of ways of, writing that pattern. So I found that the patterns that Lion Brand chooses to align with and designers they choose to align with, these patterns are well written so that you can read them and actually produce very simply what they're asking for. So my squishy mail is Vel-Luxe, and this is a chenille. It's actually 100% polyester, but it feels like chenille, and it's dreamy, super soft, and when you're working with it, it just is very light. So this would be great for it's soft and light. You could do many things with this. You could make clothes. You could make Afghans, throws. A throw on the back of the couch here would be amazing. And anything, cowl, hats, all of it. This would be super fancy on a brim of a hat, but I wanted to share which one I had chosen. And so basically, I had bought a pattern which included everything, and it's called the Brunch Cardigan. It the reason why I'm sharing this is because I started to work the pattern last night, and it took me literally probably once I got going and read the pattern and understood the pattern, this is working up super quick. One thing I might want to note is I chose to go with a wood hook for this yarn. My Rainbow 9.0. I love it. I love working with this and bringing this out as much as possible just because it's super fancy. Not really expensive, but the pattern called for a 8 point and I chose 9 just because I want to make this. This is a cardigan, so I wanted to make it a little bit larger than the pattern. So basically, when you go up a hook size, it's going to extend the sizes for you, and it's not a big deal because it's a cardigan. But what's fabulous is it's light. Like this is, I wish you could feel it. It weighs hardly anything. So when I'm done with that, it will be super light and won't be heavy for the winter. It'll be a great, even though it's got holes in it, it still will be super warm and luxurious. So, also, I wanted to share when you buy the kits from Lion Brand, getting them on sale is actually cheaper than getting just the yarn on sale because you do get the pattern. One hint about this pattern, if you choose to do it, it's called the Brunch Cardigan, is if you're not familiar with making clothes, obviously read through. I love that they give you a black and white copy, but they also give you a graph in some patterns. And if you're a graph reader, that would help. And it's much easier than actually physically reading the words. But one of the tips and tricks I wanted to share, and you may know this or not, depending on your skill set, is starting down in one of the rounds, it started to have parentheses of 7, 9, 11. Those parentheses mean that the pattern was written to the smallest size, and you look at your size to figure out if you have to continue and add to the pattern. So that's my tip number 2. My tip number 1 was, I wanted to go back to the hook. Sorry, we're going to go back to the hook for a minute. I chose a wood hook for this yarn because a metal hook would slide. The yarn would slide more. The wood does a better job of holding the yarn into and it holds the yarn in place better. I have I have metal sets, I have wood sets, I have fancy hook that was actually, this was actually hand spun for me. I love using it on various projects, but I'll do this real quick, sorry. I can't tell you how soft this yarn is. I am in love with using this for the cardigan because it's just soft. Also, too, it's 100% polyester, so you can machine wash, and obviously not hang dry or lay flat. I would lay flat for the cardigan, otherwise it might get from hanging, it might not dry appropriately. But I love that it's machine washable, so that is a plus for making items, wearable items. So this the Vel-Luxe comes in 6 different colors, and I believe there's a pale pink, there's an eggplant, there's a marigold, a green, I don't know all of the colors. Oh, a light gray. I believe a light gray. I chose, if you like this one, it is called charcoal or anthracite carbon. The video doesn't capture as much of it's like a lighter gray going into a darker gray when you work it up. But I love it because it is a neutral color, and I'll be able to wear this with any of my choices for my fall outfits. So I'm thankful that everybody follows me, and when you're done with this video and you like what I'm sharing, please subscribe, and I will also put the link to the brunch cardigan. Right now, November, starting November 1st, I believe it's 35% off the kits. I suspect that this project, there's only, on this one, you do 15 rounds. Let's see. For my size, I'm going to do 1X. You do 15 rounds and 2 of the hexagons, and then you do the bottom portion, the extensions, and the sleeve. And I feel like this would be a weekend project because of using the larger hook and the way it works up so quickly. Once you get the pattern down, which is not hard, um, it's not hard at all. Just make sure to count your stitches if you choose to do the pattern. It tells you at the end how many stitches across you should have on each hexagon, and make sure you count. It's easy to lose a stitch with this because it's a little bit more difficult on the darker color. It's a little bit more difficult to see your V's, to go into. So have a wonderful day. Happy hooking. Thank you.